Well, I want to welcome everybody here today to this session of the ICARE program that we're rolling out. My name is Chuck Childress. Some of you I've met, some of you I haven't. I am the Regional Vice President of Operations with Methodist Retirement Communities, and I'm very glad to be here today to visit with you and to meet as many of you as I can. Between me and Frances Beltran, the Vice President of Human Resources, we'll both be presenting this program. Me during this session, and she'll be doing the next session. So if you really came to see her, you might want to hang around to the second session. I know you'll want to see it twice.
Thank you for being here today, and we are here to talk about the hospitality program. And it's a program that's going to change the way we view and do our jobs. To start from the beginning, hospitality is defined as a willingness to share. In our industry, it's an attitude of stewardship where we don't own anything here. This beautiful new building, these chairs, your desk, the tools you use to do your job aren't yours. They're actually the residents, and we're merely just a caretaker in their home. In relationships, hospitality is honoring the boundaries of others and sharing all that we have without strings attached. It's to be welcoming regardless of how we may feel. Now that may sound soft and fuzzy, and it is. It is good to be nice, and it feels good to be nice, but really it's much more than that, and it requires us to hold ourselves to a higher standard, and that's what we're shooting for. Not that anything's broken here. Crestview does a fine job, and you're at a wonderful opportunity in your history and already extending warm and beautiful service to the residents who are here and the new residents who are joining you. But we are going to go from good to great with this hospitality program, and again, raising the bar in everything that we do. True hospitality also goes deeper than manners. It's about knowing your residents and anticipating what might exceed their expectation, like getting the resident a chair before they know they want to sit, offering them a drink before they even know they're thirsty. And that goes for each other as well. Picking up each other, your fellow employees when they need a lift, encouraging and helping when needed. Because this isn't Disneyland. Hospitality doesn't quite work the same way it does here as it does at Disneyland. But if we're there for each other, it does make the job go a lot easier. So hospitality is giving and doing right by each other no matter what. As you listen to the presentation, think about hospitality, and our program is called ICARE. And think about how it will affect your job, your coworkers, each other, and most importantly, the residents, and why we're here. So let's get started with the history of MRC and the vision of the future.
Welcome to Methodist Retirement Communities. We began in the early 1960s on Galveston Island in Texas when the former Buccaneer Hotel was gifted to the Texas Annual Conference of United Methodists. This led to a community called MRC Edgewater that began with Turner Geriatric Center, which supported up to 164 skilled nursing, rehab, and memory support residents, while the hotel was replaced with 88 residential apartments for older adults called Moody House. MRC next expanded to Bryan, Texas, where it added Crestview Retirement Community in 1970 when it was already 6 years old. In addition to MRC Crestview and Bryan, MRC also operates 3 affordable housing apartment communities for seniors with limited income. These are called Crestview Terrace, Crestview Place, and Unity. In 1985, MRC added a skilled nursing and rehab community in Huntsville named MRC Town Creek, which is also referred to as Ellis Smither Geriatric Center. With considerable help then from the Temple Foundation and others, MRC next expanded to Lufkin, Texas in 1992, where its first continuous care retirement community was developed. Known as MRC Pinecrest, this community has patio homes, residential apartments, assisted living apartments, specialty memory support units for those with Alzheimer's and other dementia diseases, skilled nursing and rehab units, plus home health and other home services. The specialty memory support centers were named after longtime supporters George Henderson and Lottie Temple. MRC next added another continuous care retirement community in Texarkana, Texas in 1997 with substantial help from the Morris and Bunch families and others. The primary retirement community is named Cornerstone, while the Specialty Memory Support Center is called Bunch Woodview. Next, MRC added Happy Harbor Methodist Home in LaPorte, Texas, where we now still operate 2 affordable housing apartment communities on the bay for limited income seniors. These are called Oakview Senior Apartments and Bayview Senior Housing. Today, MRC is a system of not-for-profit corporations headquartered in the Woodland, Texas. We still maintain a valuable covenant affiliation with the Texas Annual Conference of United Methodists, from which our core values are derived. But the Texas Annual Conference has no legal or financial responsibility for MRC, so we are totally self-supporting. The majority of our funding comes from residents paying for the services they receive, and we are also fortunate to receive donations from those willing to support various programs like benevolent assistance for those who have run out of money through no fault of their own, and specialty Alzheimer's buildings and programs. Now, each of our communities also maintains very strong relationships with churches of many different denominations. Throughout MRC, we are open to persons of all faiths, and we rely heavily on members of other churches and others in the local communities where we exist to provide much-needed volunteer assistance. In 2008, we began our most remarkable transformation. In the last few years, we have completely redeveloped and rebuilt a brand new Crestview Retirement Community in Bryan as a continuous care retirement community, now serving about 250 residents, including the new Arbor Oaks residential apartments. We demolished the former building that originated in the mid-1960s, and it only served about 80 residents, mostly in skilled nursing and rehab. We have also completely redeveloped and rebuilt a brand new retirement community for Huntsville to replace the old 1950s building of Town Creek. The new community is called MRC Creekside, consisting of assisted living apartments, specialty memory support suites for those suffering with Alzheimer's and other dementias, and skilled nursing and rehab units. And now we just purchased almost 19 acres in League City, Texas, between NASA and Kemah, where we will next develop our largest yet continuous care retirement community serving about 300 residents with 150 staff. Construction is expected to start in mid-2014. MRC is now looking for our next site and project to begin our next healthy living, senior living community as we continue to expand our service ministry. With a mission to serve senior adults in Christian environments and a vision to expand our reach to as many souls as we can touch, MRC is only as good as our team of employees. It is imperative that every team consist of quality individuals who appreciate our mission and value the deserving residents we serve. Our teams must work together in harmony toward the greater good of serving others. There is absolutely nothing more rewarding or more noble than serving others. It's a mission that is bigger and more important than any one of us. When we understand this, it is easy to realize the great opportunity we've been given at MRC. Enjoying a career that serves others is much more a blessing than a job for those who understand. And if you do not quite yet understand, just give it a try. Make it a habit every day to do something special for someone else, and you will absolutely be amazed at how good it makes you feel. I believe that every employee who gives his or her best should go home at the end of the day feeling the reward that comes from serving others. And if you've given your best for the team with the right attitude, you should feel good about yourself. As we strive for excellence and professionalism throughout all of MRC, we have adopted the ICARE value system from the Methodist Hospital system in Houston, who year after year ranks as one of the top 10 hospital systems in the country. ICARE stands for integrity, compassion, accountability, respect, and excellence. This is who we are and who we want to always strive to be. Our residents are parents, grandparents, and even great-grandparents. These are real people who deserve to be treated with respect and an opportunity to live this part of their life to their fullest capability. My challenge to you is to use these values to make a positive difference in the lives of those we serve and those with whom you serve. With a smile on your face, treat others exactly how you would want to be treated. And at the end of the day, the biggest difference will be in your life. This is my hope for you and for us. Thank you so much for choosing to work with us at MRC. You matter to us, and we want you to know how valuable, how important, and how appreciated you are. May God bless each of us as we carry out this noble service ministry.
Okay, so why ICARE? The program, as Ron said, originated with the Methodist Hospital system in Houston, and it's already been proven successful after 14 years of being in motion there. And they are a leader in the industry that they serve, and their values and the values of the ICARE system align very closely with ours. So it's a natural fit for MRC and for our communities. Service excellence is a way of working and a way of interacting and a way of thinking about our jobs as we work together with others. Everything you do from a service aspect impacts this location's success. And although there can be things outside of our control in life, we do have total control over the way we treat each other and over the way we treat the residents that we serve and the guests as well. It's about creating positive experiences from the very beginning. Our residents already expect that we're going to have clean, beautiful buildings for them to live in. They already expect that we're going to have good technology and that we're going to communicate well with one another and that we're going to treat each other with respect. What they really want is what everyone wants, and that is compassionate, respectful service with a smile. So that's what it's really all about.
The vision. This same ICARE program is being rolled out to all of MRC communities. We've got one more, Creekside and Huntsville, on Thursday, and then that'll complete the initial training for this program. New hires will receive the training when they come into orientation, and even learning about ICARE before they start on their first day through our website and the online application process. Our vision is to model these ICARE values daily, and we'll begin to see how these values guide us in all that we do here at Crestview. So let's begin with what it stands for. It is an acronym, and it stands for integrity, compassion, accountability, respect, and excellence. And if you have all picked up a card, it has those same values on there, and inside it has the service standards that go along with that. Now, all of these are obviously strong words, because each of you are the face of Crestview. Everything you do from a service aspect affects Crestview's business. And everyone you come in contact with needs to know what we stand on and that they can count on our words. Next slide. And we're going to go through each one of these, beginning with integrity. And it means we are honest and ethical in all that we say and do. I tell the truth, even if it's uncomfortable. I am honest, and I keep my promises. And I've got a really good example of integrity.
Whoa, dude. You thinking what I'm thinking? Yo, I'm gonna cut the gap. Yeah. Dude, I'm gonna get it. I'm going in. Integrity. Pass it on. Save the date. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Okay, so how many of you thought that was going to end a different way than it did? Yeah, I did. I thought the same thing myself. It's a good example of integrity. Williams Rogers Actor, a comic and columnist, sums up the meaning of integrity by saying, "Lead your life so you wouldn't be ashamed to sell the family parrot to the town gossip." So C stands for compassion, and it means we embrace the whole person and respond to emotional, ethical, and spiritual concerns as well as the physical needs of individuals. It means that you and I listen to understand. It means that I am considerate. And it also means I offer a helping hand. As you look at this next slide, I think everybody would recognize who that is, Mother Teresa. And she is probably one of the most famous icons and a great example of compassion. She's been quoted as saying, "I would rather make mistakes in kindness and compassion than work miracles in unkindness and hardness."
Next is accountability. We hold ourselves accountable for our actions. I fix problems, I admit my mistakes, and I use resources wisely. Here's the thing about mistakes. Everybody makes them. None of us are perfect. There's only been one man who ever walked this earth who is without sin, and the last time I looked, Jesus was not on our payroll. So everybody's going to make them. So accountability means when you make mistakes, admit it, fix it, and figure out how to not do it again. And I've got a video on accountability as well.
Whoa, that's not good.
Oh, I don't need this. I'm already late.
Somebody will come. Anybody out there?
Do you have a phone?
No. Sorry. Somebody! Hello? There are 2 people stuck on an escalator and we need help. Now, would somebody please do something? I don't believe this. You gotta be kidding me.
I'm gonna cry.
Well, there's not enough left to do, is there?
Ever been stuck on that escalator yourself? Or maybe you know somebody that you've seen stuck on that escalator and they're just not stepping up and taking accountability. I love that. I laugh every time I see it. The next letter in ICARE is R. R is for respect, and it means we treat every individual as a person of worth, dignity, and value. It means that I check it out and I talk it out. It means I smile and I make eye contact. And it means I honor residents' choices. If I had a voice, and I'm not going to sing this for you because I'm sure there's someone here that could sing this a whole lot better than me. But in the words of the great Aretha Franklin, R-E-S-P-E-C-T, find out what it means to me. R-E-S-P-E-C-T, take care, T-C-B. And T-C-B means taking care of business. And our business very much depends on respect. Respect to the residents who deserve it, respect for each other, respect for our visitors. We're all different, and we come from different backgrounds. We come from different religions, different ethnicities, and that's what makes us all very, very special. We're going to respect people for who they are, whatever that might be. And the last letter in ICARE is E. E is for excellence, which means we strive to be the best at what we do and model for others to follow. It means I am the best I can be, I go the extra mile, and I look for better ways to do things. So on the next slide, there's a picture of a famous individual by the name of Jim Thorpe. Anyone heard of Jim Thorpe? A few hands out there. Yeah, if you're a little bit older, you might recognize that face. But some of you may have heard about Jim Thorpe. He was an exceptional athlete. He was an Olympic gold medalist, among other things. He's been dead since 1953, but he's really never going to be forgotten for his commitment to excellence. He didn't excel in just one sport, but in many, making a name for himself in track and field, lacrosse, professional basketball and football, and as well, Major League Baseball. He even won a collegiate ballroom dancing championship. Now that's a well-rounded individual. In 1999, the Associated Press placed him third on their list of top athletes of the century, behind only Babe Ruth and Michael Jordan. And even though sports came easy for Thorpe, life didn't come so easy for him. He was born a twin, but he lost his brother to pneumonia when he was just 9 years old. His mother died of childbirth complications just 2 years later, and his father passed away after a hunting accident when Thorpe was only 16. So he had a rough start to life and went through a lot of adversity, but that didn't stop his drive. The sheer excellence with which Thorpe performed every sport he ever competed in is an inspiration to many people, and he's undoubtedly one of the greatest athletes the world has ever seen. So he's a great example of excellence.
So how are we going to recognize ICARE? As we continue to learn and grow in this program, we'll begin to recognize employees who are going above and beyond to demonstrate these ICARE values. One thing is recognition cards. You may be recognized by a supervisor or a hospitality champion by receiving a recognition card. These cards can be turned in for promotional items, and we have a couple of them here today, like the pens and the balls and things like that. But in addition, each card will enter you into a drawing for other larger prizes. The employee newsletter, in addition to sharing other HR news, we'll be using this newsletter to share among all of MRC how this program is being implemented and the extraordinary things that others will ultimately do with this program. And the ICARE Award nomination, which will be reserved for those who exceptionally and consistently exceed these ICARE values, and it will actually replace the traditional Employee of the Year program. So nominations can be accepted by supervisors, or employees can nominate one another. We'll be doing that in the fourth quarter of this year. So winners will be recognized at the annual Christmas parties like they have been in the past, and also be invited to the MRC board meeting and recognized there as well. Here at Crestview, your campus champions are Laura Baker and also James Logan, who was also in our previous session. And these individuals have been identified as someone who exhibits these ICARE values already, and they will have specific job duties with the ICARE program. So he or she will be your contact for ICARE questions. You'll also see one of them to redeem your recognition cards, and she'll also maintain the cards for the drawings. We'll meet and be the face of ICARE for all new hires. So she'll meet with new hires to help tell them about the program, and she'll help coordinate the department commitments that we'll talk about here in just a minute. So our employee newsletter, on your way out, pick up one of these forms, but our employee newsletter needs a name, so please help us. And this is the form that you will use to do that. It is one newsletter for all of MRC, so it's not specific to Crestview. So again, we'll be using it to share these ICARE news and also other insurance-related questions and those type of things that are useful to all of us. So please help us give that newsletter a name. And you can do that through the end of February. Okay, so what's next? Expect communication from your supervisor so that you and your team can begin to develop ICARE daily activities and behaviors that are specific to your department. Obviously, the dining services department will have different ways to show their ICARE values than those in assisted living or in healthcare. So once those department commitments have been finalized, we'll proudly display those. It'll be in poster form. Everyone signs them. We'll put them up somewhere in our departments so everyone can see how each of us will honor those ICARE values. What else you can expect from your hospitality champion, your executive director, our office, your supervisors, and each other is lots and lots of communication related to the ICARE program. So you'll see more posters, videos, emails, messages, and Paycom. If any of you have gone in to check your paycheck, and I know you have, you've been in there, right? The scrolling message across, and it's been saying something like, we're going to have more taxes taken out of your check, but you can see other messages in there as well. So look for more messages in there. And also assigned training in MRC University, previously Silver Chair, now MRCU. So you can expect more information about ICARE in there as well. Our next live training will be sometime around the 1st of March, and I'll be back here to do that. And it's going to cover the service standards, which are on the back of that card that you picked up on the way in. And it has something to do with cowbells. So that's just a little teaser. So be back here, and I promise I won't sing to you. Now, you may be thinking, there's no way that one person can make a difference. And you yourself sitting there might be saying, there's nothing I can do myself. And this last video that we're going to share with you is an example of how one person did just that. thank you so much for being here today and your time. I know I've seen that so many times and it still gets to me. Thank you for being here.